Iran switching to offense following an Israeli attack that killed some of its top officials. Now both Israel and the U.S. are bracing for fighting to escalate in the coming weeks. Right now, some 200 drones and missiles intercepted tonight, many before they reached the Israeli border. The move marks the first time that Iran has launched an attack on the Jewish state. Today, President Biden returned to Washington from a visit to Delaware to meet with top security officials about the tension in the Middle East. And this comes as the NYPD tightens security outside houses of worship and other vulnerable locations across New York City. Right now, there are no credible threats to the public as police continue to closely monitor the situation in Israel. News 4's Jackie Beckford live in the newsroom with more. Jackie?
Well, Gus, it's just after 6 a.m. in Israel, the country waking up to whatever damage was left by Iran's assault. That could determine whether Israel responds with a counterattack, which Iran says will lead it to take further military action. President Biden and other world leaders set to be working feverishly behind the scenes, trying to temper both countries before this cycle of conflict escalates into a regional war.
Tonight, the sky over Israel lit up with hundreds of drones, ballistic and cruise missiles fired in an unprecedented assault from Iran.
Oh my God, oh my God.
And El Levantin watched at 2 a.m. as many of them flew over her head and home.
You can hear in the video that I was like all of a sudden very scared because it's like, oh, it's real. It's flying over your head. And you're kind of like, how is this happening in 2024?
Levantin, who works with Jewish National Fund USA, lives in Jerusalem with her husband and children, the youngest just 7.
It's a little bit scary because you have your kids sleeping in their house. Now, my kids already sleep in my safe room, so I knew that they wouldn't wake up.
The startling reality of the overnight attack marking the first time Iran has launched a direct military attack on Israel. The IDF saying it's intercepted the vast majority of incoming missiles outside its border. But a military spokesman says a handful of missiles made contact. Rescuers say a 10-year-old girl in southern Israel was critically hurt. Another missile said to have struck an army base, causing light damage.
The Israelis are trying to tell the public to be safe. They've canceled all public events that would involve more than 1,000 people until 11 o'clock at night on Monday. All schools have been canceled.
International condemnation has been swift. Countries around the world warning Iran it must stop what's being viewed as a dangerous escalation.
This is already escalated beyond recovery.
President Biden returned to the White House tonight, meeting with top administration officials in the Situation Room. Biden said to have spoken with Israel's prime minister. The president vowing his commitment to Israel's security is, quote, ironclad.
Israel has already said that it would respond to an attack on Israeli soil with an attack on Iranian soil.
Iran tweeting tonight that the attack was a response to Israel's assault on its embassy in Damascus. The country seeming to say it considers the two now even, warning against further Israel aggression and warning the U.S. to stay away. But U.S. officials say the U.S. has been involved in intercepting drones headed to Israel. El Levantin not convinced it's over.
You don't attack a country with over 500 missiles and drones and then say, oh, by the way, I'm done.
Well, all she and the rest of the world can do now is watch and wait to see if Iran will stick to its word that the assault is over and what Israel's response will be. El says there are 37 American students on study abroad program in Israel with her organization, along with 87 volunteers who landed just yesterday. In the newsroom, Jackie Beckford, News 4, New York.